Hi, my name is Shane Wanless. On behalf of Premier Equipment, your salesperson and myself, I'd like to thank you for your recent lawn equipment purchase. We appreciate your business and look forward to continuing our relationship with you into the future. In this short video, we're going to take a look at your new piece of equipment, the operator's manual, service intervals, warranty, and some of the lawn accessories and attachments that are available from Premier Equipment. You should have received an operator's manual with your new purchase. If you did not, please contact your salesperson right away so that they can get one for you. Reviewing the operator's manual is a very important part of starting to operate your new piece of lawn equipment. Your operator's manual contains a lot of valuable information and some key sections. Product identification. This will show you where your serial number is located and your engine serial number if you need that in the future. Safety. This section covers all the safety decals and what they mean. The safety section also outlines the safe operation of your unit, general instructions, what to do before you use your machine, a daily checklist, checking the mowing area, preventing injuries, operating on slopes. There's a diagram to help you determine how big of a slope you should cut on, identifying any terrain hazards, towing safety, and some of the service and maintenance information. Operating controls and operating, we will discuss this more in the video. We will also talk about servicing and troubleshooting. Storage. There's a section that contains the information you need to put away your unit for the winter and what to do to bring it out in the spring. In the back of the manual, it contains all the warranty information specific to your machine. Okay, now that we've talked about the operator's manual, let's do a walk around on a Z500. Today we got a Z530R for our example, so we're going to use it to go over the controls, some of the benefits and features of this unit. Before we start a machine, we always want to do a little bit of a walk around with it. The first thing we want to do is check our oil. It's always back here at the engine compartment. There's a yellow dipstick with a yellow oil can on it. It could be on the left or right, just depending on which unit you have, what engine it has. It only takes a few seconds to check oil, but it's a good thing to do to protect the life of your machine, just to make sure that the oil levels are good. As we do a little walk around, check the tire pressures. Make sure that they're all good and everything looks level. You can see it visually. You can give them a little tap with your foot. Probably every once in a while it's not a bad idea to put a gauge on them to see what they are. If you have one tire that's low, it's going to give you an uneven cut because the one side is dropped down. The other thing too, if you have a tire that's too flat, it's going to give you some uneven wear on that tire. So check that. Next thing you want to do, check the deck. Check the compartments for sticks, for pine cones, for excess grass. On your deck, you don't want too much grass in there. You want to clean it out so that it's not wearing your pulleys, not wearing your belts. The nice thing on the Z500s too on the deck is you can lift the foot rest up here so that you can get into the deck, clean that all out. The other thing on our deck is the washout port. You have this quick coupler on here. What you do is hook this to a garden hose, put it back on, turn the water on, turn your deck on, and what that's going to do is soak the grass and really clean it out. The best time to do that is right after you've cut, while the grass is still fresh, still wet, but keep in mind you want to do this somewhere where you're not worried about making a mess. So out behind the garage, out in a field, somewhere if you got it. You don't want to do it on your nice sidewalk because all that grass is falling to the ground and makes a bit of a mess, but it does really clean that deck out and does work well. And again, the best time to do that is right after you've cut the grass. The other thing on the deck when you're checking for debris and everything on the Z500s, you can lift these plastic covers up and get in there and clean that out real nice. So a few more features on our Z500s. We do have the folding roll bar, and basically all you're going to do is pull these handles out, both sides, and we can fold it down, lock it into position. You definitely want to leave it up if you're cutting in ditches or any of those side hills or anything like that, but maybe you have some places where you have some low branches, so then you're going to want to fold it down. So it's very easy with these quick handles to fold it and get that roll bar out of the way. But definitely if you're cutting in ditches, you want your roll bar up, and they do have a seat belt. So roll bar is not much good without your seat belt on. So that's something we have. The other thing that these mowers have too is the ability to push them when it's not running. So To do that, we want to pull this lever back, get the seat up out of the way, and then what we have is way down here on each side, there's a little lever that you can see down there with a little knob on it there that we're going to push it one way on each side. We take our parking brake off, and then we would be able to push this more without it running. So, and the reason you may want to do that is if it's in a garage and you just want to move it into a corner without starting it, it would allow you to do that. Maybe you ran out of gas somewhere and we need to push it back up to the shed, you would do it that. Or in the likely event that it did break down, maybe we need to push it on a trailer, we would release those levers and then be able to push it onto the trailer. The other neat thing too is when we lift the seat up here, there is a real nice service interval decal on here that gives you all the hours of oil changes, fuel filter changes. There's some belt diagrams if you needed to change a belt. So this is all in your service manual too, but there is a nice decal here that you can reference to do that also. Okay, so now that we've done our walk around, we've checked our oil, made sure our deck is clean, let's get on the unit and look at some of the controls. So most of our controls are here on the right hand side. The big orange lever here is a throttle. Right beside it, the black lever is our choke. We have a PTO switch or deck engage switch. We have an ignition switch where your key would go into. Because this is an R model, we do have LED lights on it on the front. Your instrument panel here, which will give you your hours, your fuel, everything like that. Down at the side here, we have a yellow button that locks our deck up in position. We have a simple peg for changing our deck height. Right now we got there at 3 inches. And the foot pedal is for lifting the deck. We have an orange parking brake on this side. And we have our 2 control levers. Usually the controls on a zero turn are a little more simple than a tractor. So now that we've gone over that, let's go over starting the zero turn. So to start the zero turn, we want to make sure that our levers are out, our parking brake is on. We would then come over to here, make sure our throttle is all the way up, and then we want to move our choke all the way to the up position. Once we do that, we turn the key. It's going to start, turn your choke off, and basically you're ready to go. So now the unit is running, we want to drive it. First thing we want to do is take the parking brake off. If you pull the levers in with the parking brake on, the unit's going to shut off. Reason it does that is so you can't drive it with the parking brake on. So turn the parking brake off, bring the levers in, and now we can drive. So when they're in this position here, the unit's not going to move on you. It's not going to take off. Basically with a zero turn, the farther you push these, the faster it's going to go. Bring it back to position, it's going to stop. Pull the levers back, you're going to go in reverse. If I pulled one all the way back, pushed one all the way forward, I'm just going to sit here and spin around. So what I always tell people is go out in the wide open spaces, drive it, get comfortable with it. Usually what happens is people go too slow and then you find the front end's doing a lot of this. Once you get a little more comfortable and you get a little faster, everything smooths out and it's a lot easier to control than trying to go too slow, and then even going in and around the flower bed, you're not going to have any trouble or anything like that. So go out and practice. It just takes time. So now that we have the machine, we're running, we want to cut grass. All we're going to do is pull the yellow PTO switch on or deck engage switch up. The mower deck's going to start. We want to drop our deck down for a certain cut of height. All we're going to do is press the pedal, put the yellow switch lever down, and it's going to drop down to 3 inches that we have it set at right now. So after we're done cutting, all we're going to do is turn the deck off. The mower deck's going to stop. We want to lift it up into the transport position. We're going to push the pedal, pull the switch up, and now we're locked in the upright position on the deck. When the machine's running and if we wanted to get off of it, we want to make sure that the deck is off. We would then put our handles out and put the parking brake on. If I wanted to get off and I didn't put the parking brake on, it's going to shut off on us. So mower deck off, handles out, parking brake on, and that allows us to get off the unit. Don't forget to stop into our parts department. We stock wagons, lawn rollers, mulch kits, bumpers, baggers, and service kits for your mower. The next section we're going to look at is servicing your lawn equipment. Located in your operator's manual is a section on service intervals. Your engine oil needs to be changed every 50 hours or annually, whichever comes first. Just sitting over the winter, condensation can occur, and it's a good idea to change that oil in the spring, even if you didn't reach the 50 hours. At 100 hours or annually, items such as your spark plugs, air filter, fuel filter may need replaced, sharpening your blades, and you may need to get your deck re-leveled and check your tire pressures. Regular servicing of your riding lawn equipment is important for protecting and prolonging the life of your equipment. Depending on your conditions, you may need to do some of this maintenance early, such as dusty conditions, large amounts of dandelion seeds, or unplanned debris on your lawn equipment. At Premier Equipment, our service departments can help you with all your service requirements. Participate in our Premier Service Inspection programs, have your mower serviced annually, and take advantage of seasonal specials. Book early and beat the rush. If you're confident in completing your own service, contact our parts department. We stock all the filters and oil you need. Again, thank you for choosing Premier Equipment on your recent lawn equipment purchase. We really appreciate your business. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to your salesperson or your local Premier branch. Thank you for running with us.